touches of unexpected humor and beautifully poetic, funny as well as highly relevant. These are some of the adjectives used to describe award-winning author Nkosinathi Sithole's debut novel titled Hunger Eats a Man, which recently earned him the Barry Ronge Fiction Prize at the prestigious Sunday Times Literary Awards. Sithole, who teaches at the University of Zululand, is one of the authors that will headline the 20th Time of the Writer International Festival from the 13th to the 18th of March in Durban. He now joins us from our Durban studios to tell us more about his award-winning work, Hunger Eats a Man. Mr. Sithole, thank you very much for joining us from our Durban studios. Before we get into it, for the benefit of our viewers, what's your book about?
Thank you for having me. The book is about what is happening in South Africa currently, and it portrays a community of a people, and this community is divided. There is a part of the community that is very rich, and then another part of the community is very poor. So as the title says, it engages with issues of poverty, corruption, and other things, but the main thing is poverty. And you find that the people who are living in this area that is poor, indlala idla indoda, hunger eats a man, they are struggling to make ends meet, while their neighbors, the people who live in Canaan, have got everything. And it so happens that the person who is a political representative of the people in Hunger Eats a Man lives with the rich, and he chooses to be corrupt and abuse the funds that are allocated to be used for the people who are suffering, the people who live in Hunger Eats a Man.
I know that it reflects an area in KZN, but would you agree that story, that narrative, reflects a lot of other communities across South Africa?
Yes, I think so. I think that what's happening in this particular area that is Hunger Eats a Man, because it's a fictional area, it's a fictional locality, but I believe that it reflects what is happening in the rest of South Africa. The main problem that we have in South Africa is having some people very rich and the majority of the people very poor.
Let's talk about the lead protagonist, Father Gumede, and the lessons that he learns along the way and the complexity of his character.
Father Gumede is a priest. He believes in God. He lives in a community that is very suffering. As a person, as an individual, he used to have a job, and then after 94, when everybody was hoping that things would be better, he, with so many other people, loses his job. And then the novel begins when he's involved in this struggle to get a job, and he's not alone. There's so many other people. So he has to go, for instance, and work in a farm. And he has worked in a farm before. He didn't like what was happening, so he made a vow that, no, I'll never work in a farm in my life. But when things get so bad, he's forced to go back and work at the farm. And there he realizes that so much has not changed. Things are still bad for at least some of the black people. So he goes on. There's a point in his life where he decides that he's leaving politics and religion. And he makes those choices because he sees that maybe somehow they don't help. So he says that he's his own worshipper now. He doesn't worship God. He doesn't support the politicians. But later on, he realizes that, in fact, as a community, they've been making a mistake to believe that God is going to act for them. God is going to help them if they themselves, as the community, act against what is happening in their community.
We've got about a minute left. I want to talk to you about being one of the headliners for the 20th time of the writer, which will start on the 13th to the 18th of March in Durban. The fact that this book has already picked up awards, what does it say about our appetite for the kind of content you've written?
Sorry, I missed that.
I'm saying you've already won an award for it. You are the headline, one of the headliners at the 20th time of the Writer International. What does that say about our appetite for this kind of content?
I think that people realize that things are not going well in our country, and people like to read books that talk to what is happening in their situation. I was very humbled. As part of the conference, I had to go to a school, and I was reading from my book, and one of the students said something that humbled me. He said that for the first time in his life, he has enjoyed listening to someone read a book. It has never happened before. And I think that it was because I was reading something that kind of talked to his situation.
So we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us from our Durban studios. We talked to award-winning author Nkosinathi Sithole, speaking to us about his debut novel titled Hunger Eats a Man, which earned him the Barry Ronge Fiction Prize at the prestigious Sunday Literary Times Award recently. He'll also be part of the 20th time of the Writer International Festival. We take an ad break.